Hello, everyone. I'm waiting to actually see our
I hear the word Marla.
for candles. Yeah.
I'm having trouble with my computer, so I'm going to close a bunch of tabs. Talk to each other. Hi, Marla.
Hi, Bonnie. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Hi, Marla.
Okay, I'm not sure why I'm not seeing a feed yet.
Elon must be in the temple.
Indeed.
I see the mask. It is so hard to sing in a mask. I did it today. I said, this is unbelievable.
Come on.
Hello.
Why do I not
thank
see
you
it
so
yet?
much.
And Cantor's been doing it, Rabbi's been doing it, but it's like trying to sing in a bag.
I'm not in. Do you
Supposed to
want to
come on at
go?
6:57.
I'll be here.
Let me just.
I'll keep my eye on it if you want to go check.
It may just be the timing of them getting onto
Yeah.
Zoom.
No worries. Hi, everyone. It's so good to see all of you who are coming in now. We are just waiting for everyone from Live Control to be here, and we'll get started shortly. So just hang on a little bit. It's great to be with you.
Hi, Jam.
We're live.
You're muted.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, I think I unmuted now.
Okay. I'm very blessed. My niece know why we're not
There's
seeing.
not someone here. Oh, unless
My niece
it's
is here. She
Dr.
made
J
us
and
dinner.
Jonathan.
Nope.
Okay, because there's two of
someone
them.
else.
Wonderful.
That was my
I know
confusion. Is
Dr.
that
J
there's
and
two?
Jonathan.
She doesn't want anybody to see her. But she's right there. There's my niece, Rhea.
Hi.
That's all you get. Hi, Andrea.
We just had the most wonderful experience.
call
We were
them or
having
something?
a lovely dinner, and we chatted very briefly with the people next to us, and didn't think much of what we said. And then when it came to
We're just going to hang out for a minute while we make sure technology is doing what it needs to. Sorry.
and we looked at them and we said,
gonna get beyond this.
We are.
Yeah, to
We're
a
getting
young
there.
couple, and they said they heard that we'd been married.
This should be
for
okay
57
right
years.
now.
They were so impressed. They paid our bill.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We were just delighted, but just thrilled with them.
Send us a message.
Oh, we've been married.
Where did you go to eat?
See us on Zoom yet.
Where was dinner?
Michael Sherman.
Okay.
We've been married 57
Not here yet.
It should just literally, once it shows up, it should just be the slide because I've got it holding space.
Okay.
But
Do we need to like call or something?
we're waiting for them to answer. Real quick. I hope.
Should we try calling?
Yeah, I can try calling.
Because if you're doing it on there, if you give me the number, I can call. Speed things
What
up.
was that, an automatic?
Yeah, it just recorded what I said.
That's so funny.
Hold on, I actually find it.
Hello, Michael.
Very funny.
Hello, I'm looking. Well, say it to me, all right?
Video because
Someone's connected. Nope.
You want to show her about her?
okay, there I am.
There you go. I see you.
And Sandy's here too. Well, thanks.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, it just came in.
Right there.
Great.
Perfect.
Okay, we are now able to get started. I'm just going to change one thing.
Make sure you're muted, Rabbi, on your
Yes.
computer. Stop.
טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
For all of you who are online joining us, it's great to be with you. For all of us who are here in person, it's so lovely to see more of you than just these little boxes around your heads. And it is such a pleasure after nearly a year and a half to have the one and only Bob Remstein here with us tonight celebrating Shabbat. We don't usually give claps, but I think one is warranted in
Absolutely.
this case. 100%. And so we are going to welcome in this Shabbat, this last Shabbat before the High Holy Day season officially begins, by lighting our candles. And I'd love to invite up Linda to lead us in the lighting.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, etzivanu l'chag nekler shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Yes, they're muted.
Live control is muted for some reason. So we'll just, I'll just ask our controller to unmute the Zoom feed because evidently you seem to be muted. People are not hearing us. Hopefully that will get things working again. Live control is, okay.
Sorry, hold on one second.
Oh yes, I see that. So
I've
if you
asked
just-
it to
you did,
unmute
okay.
multiple times.
All right.
Hold on, sorry everyone. Hold on, everyone, we are aware. Live control, if you can hear, can you please unmute so that everyone can hear us? Please?
Yes, your feed to Zoom is muted currently. These little things, little glitches in the temple.
I'm glad everyone is having fun in the chat right now. There we go. Come on, live control, what are you doing? Do we need to call really fast?
Do I need to call again?
You might,
Okay,
because this is not working.
in which case, I will.
Okay, we're going to pause services now that
We're so
Linda
sorry,
did
folks.
such a beautiful job lighting the candles for all of us.
Linda
and now
was
we're just going
gorgeous.
to pause Shabbat for a second as we allow technology to catch up with the rest of us. You can hear through my computer screen, which is not the optimal sound. So yes, you can hear me right now, but this isn't what we're going for. So hold on just a second.
As I listen to the lovely birds chirping on the hold.
Oh, nope, TBE is now unmuted.
Ah,
We are
fantastic.
good. Awesome. All right, we are ready to resume Shabbat with our words of song.
Goodness.
And I invite everyone who's on Zoom to please mute yourself except for TBE so that we can all hear. Thank you so much.
That's what happened. I know exactly what happened now. You gently muted everyone at
No,
the
I
beginning
didn't,
of this. No, you didn't?
actually.
Oh, darn it. I was so hoping that that was the case. But
All right. However, we do not see, okay. Hold on.
Hachama merosh hailanot nistalka Bo'u v'netze likrat Shabbat hamalka Hine hi yoredet hakdosha habrucha ועם המלאכים צבא שלום ומנוחה. בואי בואי המלכה, בואי בואי הכלה. שלום עליכם מלאכי השלום, בואי בואי המלכה, בואי בואי הכלה. שלום עליכם מלאכי השלום. כי אשמרה שבת אל ישמרני, כי אשמרה שבת אל ישמרני, אותי לעולמי עד בינו וביני, אותי לעולמי עד בינו וביני. כי אשמרה שבת אל ישמרני, כי אשמרה שבת אל ישמרני.
We now, after offering these words of song, of welcoming in the Sabbath day, we take a moment to welcome in one another. And whether that means by weaving across the room and sending love, or by sending messages to one another in the chat of our Zoom synagogue, I invite you to do that so that we can truly welcome Shabbat in the company of one another.
Yes.
And we'll continue with the words of Lecha Dodi, welcoming the Sabbath bride.
Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, yalalai, 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 b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללי, 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 בני שבת נקבלה.
We turn to the Baruch Hu prayer, our call to worship. I'm hoping everyone online can now hear me a little better. With the call to worship, am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening, God, to my prayer?
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam Va'ed.
la lai lai lai, ya 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 la lai lai lai.
You may be seated. I'd like to offer a poem, a prayer from Mary Oliver entitled, What Did You Notice? What did you notice? The dew snail, the low-flying sparrow, the bat on the wind in the dark, big-chested geese in the V of sleekest performance, the soft toad, patient in the hot sand, the sweet hungry ants, the uproar of mice in the empty house, the tin music of the cricket's body, the blouse of the goldenrod. What did you hear? The thrush greeting the morning, the little bluebirds in their hotbox, the salty talk of the wren, then the deep cut of the hour of silence. When did you admire? The oaks letting down their dark and hairy fruit, the carrot rising in its elongated waist, the onion, sheet after sheet, curved inward into the pale green lawns. At the end of summer, the brassy dust, the almost liquid beauty of the flowers. Then the ferns, scrawn black by the frost. What astonished you? The swallows making their dip and turn over the water. What would you like to see again? My dog. Her energy and exuberance, her willingness, her language beyond all nimbleness of tongue, her recklessness, her loyalty, her sweetness, her strong legs, her curled black lip, her snap. What was most tender? Queen Anne's lace with parsnip root, the everlasting in its bonnets of wool, the kinks and turns of the pilow's body, the tail, the tall black banks of sand, the clam clamped down. What was most wonderful? The sea with its wide shoulders, the sea and its triangles, the sea lying on its long athlete's spine. What did you think was happening? The green beast of the hummingbird, the eye of the pond, the wet face of the lily, the bright puckered knee of the broken oak, the red tulip of the fox's mouth, the upswing, the downpour, the frayed sleeve of the first snow. So the gods shake us from our sleep. I'd like us to turn to the words of Ma'ariv Aravim, and this particular prayer happens to be a favorite of someone in our congregation, someone pretty special, Rabbi Catherine. And so in honor of her birthday, which is today, she is going to lead us in this blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'hokmah poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna meshanei itim u'mahalif et hazmanim, b'mishmeroterim barakia kirtzono, b'orei yom v'layla golel or mipnei hoshek v'hoshek mipnei or, u'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla, Ubma Dil Bein Yom Uvein Laila Adonai Tiva'ot Shemo El Chai V'Chayam Tamid Yimlok Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
Thank you so much. Yasha koach. There'll be blessings later. You can sit down. Thank you so much, Rabbi Catherine. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we all rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Yai la lai la lai 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 la 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 lai. Yai la lai lai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai lai la lai lai la 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Mi כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מלכותך ראו בניך, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלי ענו ויאמרו, זה אלי ענו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כיבד אדוני את יעקב, יהלום יד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל. Israel. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'hamidenu shomereinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'hamidenu shomereinu lechaim. Uvros aleinu sukat shomecha ushmor tzedenu uvoenu. Uveros aleinu sukat shomecha ushmor tzedenu uvoenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'hamidenu shomereinu lechaim. Baruch atah Adonai haporeh sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen. Veshameru bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש.
We prepare ourselves for the Amidah. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soil, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. I invite everyone to rise in body or in spirit for the Amidah.
la lai lai lai, ya 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 la lai lai lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please take a few moments for your private thoughts and prayers, and you may be seated whenever you feel ready to do so.
רצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני
are prepared to begin our Torah service this evening. And we are going to be reading from the Torah Deuteronomy 29 in Parashat Ki Tavo. So I invite everyone who is able to rise once more as we take the Torah out from the ark.
Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo Gadol Adonai Iti Uneromema Shemo Yachdav Lecha Adonai HaGedola והגבורה והתפארת הנצח וההוד ככל בשמיים ובארץ ככל בשמיים ובארץ לך אדוני הממלכה ועמיד נעשה לכל ראש.
So for the Aliyah, before the Torah, you may be seated except for anyone who has a birthday or an anniversary. In the month of August, I invite you to come up here for the honor of the Aliyah. And everyone who is online who has a birthday or an anniversary in the month of August, I invite you to raise your hand. There's a little way to do reactions in the bottom right. And if you go to reactions and you do something there, or you raise your hand, it'll show up and everyone will be able to see that this includes you, and I invite you to join in the blessing over the Torah.
See where we are?
Baruch Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Asher Bakar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Amen. ויקרא משה אל כל ישראל ויאמר עליהם אתם ראיתם את כל אשר עשה אדוני לעיניכם בארץ מצרים לפרעה וכל עבדיו ולכל ארצו המעשות הגדולות אשר ראו עיניך, האותות והמופתים הגדולים ההם, ולא נתן אדוני לכם לב לדעת, ועיניים לראות ואוזניים לשמוע, עד היום הזה. והולך אתכם 40 שנה במדבר, לא ולא שלמותיכם מהלחם ונלכה לא ולטה מעל רגליך. לחם לא אכלתם ויין ושיכר לא שתיתם, למען תדעו כי אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Everyone who has a birthday or an anniversary, let's do the closing blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
And in the presence of this Torah right here, we offer our birthday blessing. So obviously, Rabbi Catherine, you have your birthday today. I know our very own Cantor had his birthday just
Yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday. Days feel longer right now. And there's a few people who have raised their hands as well. We have Steve Morris. We have, I don't know if the Gerwitz, if it's your birthday, anniversary. I know we have some other anniversaries here. But I'd like to offer this blessing to all of you celebrating on this joyous occasion. Mishaberach avotenu v'yamotenu, may the one who blessed our ancestors bless you as you celebrate your birthday. May you be blessed with health and happiness. May your face mask always protect you. May your favorite song come on the radio whenever you enter a store. May you always have an umbrella when it rains. May you take the time to observe the flight of a hummingbird, the vibrance of sunset, the ripple of the ocean waves. But above all, may you know that you are seen, respected, loved, and cherished by all of those who are lucky enough to know you. May you go from strength to strength, from blessing to blessing for many years to come. And let all of us here today say, Amen.
Amen.
Yasher Koach.
Duh.
And I know we have at least one anniversary here. I saw 53rd anniversary. Oh, the Morrises, wonderful. Jim and
Wow.
Leanne's anniversary, wonderful. You're welcome to write in the chat how many years you have been married. And I'd like to offer this blessing for you. As you celebrate your anniversary this month, may your heart overflow. Mishaberach avotenu v'yamotenu. May the one who blessed our mothers and fathers under the canopy of life commitment bring blessing to you on your anniversary. As your marriage has brought such blessing, enriching the lives of those you've touched, so may the blessings so may the blessings you've enjoyed continue to overflow with health and goodness, with joy and life-affirming spirit filling your hearts. We all celebrate your sacred partnership for years upon years and generations yet to come, and we say, Yasher Koach, Amen. Thank you so much, Rabbi Catherine. And I invite everyone to please rise if you're able as we lift the Torah for all to see.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה אשר שם משה, וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל. וזאת התורה, 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 וזאת התורה. Whoops. That was my fault. I turned it. יצחק אמי המחזיקים בה וטוב דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה. חדש, חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם.
You may be seated. My last year in college, finally with a license in my hand, not so unusual, lived in New York, I arrived at college with a car. For the 3 years before, friends had driven us to the coffee shop, to the restaurant, to the temple at which I taught religious school, the concert hall, and so many other favorite spots, but now I was thrilled that I could drive myself. I made plans to take friends to a common hangout, and as we got into the car, I had a sudden realization. I had no idea how to get there. You see, I'd been to the location a million times before, looking through the car's windows, watching each turn, watching each landmark along the way, but I myself had never been in the driver's seat. As we reached the end of the book of Deuteronomy, the Israelites are starting to arrive at the same realization. They had been passengers on Moses' caravan. And as Moses nears his final hours, he offers them these words that we heard just moments ago. You have seen all that the Eternal did before your very eyes in the land of Egypt. The wondrous fears that you say, the wondrous things that you've seen with your own eyes, those prodigious signs and marvels. Yet to this day, the Eternal has not given you a mind to understand, or eyes to see, or ears to hear. Up until this day, you have not been in the driver's seat. There have been marvels before you, but perhaps you have not yet been able to see, hear, or understand them. A person can see wondrous things, true revelations, and yet, paradoxically, not see them, explains 20th century Rabbi Elimelech Bar Shol. The blessed Almighty gives the person eyes to see and ears to hear and a heart to understand, but it is the person who must choose to see and hear and understand. It is the person who must open his eyes well to see. And even then, he cannot see unless he also opens his heart to understand. It is one thing to enter the promised lands and another to be fully present in it. It is one thing to see and another to absorb, one thing to hear and another to listen, one thing to live, and another to live with purpose and meaning. As Moses reaches his final hours, he calls out to his people with these words, Hasket, Shema Yisrael, he tells them. Stop, pause, listen, Israel. For today you have become the people of the Eternal, your God. Today you receive your driver's license, and it is up to you to find your way. The Israelites look out as the promised land, excited and fearful. They don't know what will happen. They don't have confidence in their abilities to make the right choices. After all, Moses has been making them for him all these years. They simply know that there is much to be done. And just when they feel the urge to jump into action, Moses tells them, Hasket, silence, stop, be still, and pause. The juxtaposition between Hasket, silence, and Shema here is quite stark, my classmate Rabbi Lyle Rothman points out. It's jarring, but it's present for a reason. For only when we silence ourselves do we truly have the ability to hear God and those around us. This weekend, as we know, begins the High Holy Day season, and it begins at a most precarious time, when we too feel the weight of uncertainty on our shoulders, when we are making important decisions about what we want to do for ourselves and the people we love, how cautious we need to be. Throughout the season, we take time to do the work of cheshbon hanefesh, the accounting of the soul. These days urge us to take time to attune ourselves with the needs of others around us and the needs of our own, to repair relationships with other people, with God, and with ourselves. Our Torah asks of us, to what have we closed ourselves off? What are we seeing but not yet taking in? What are we hearing but have not yet absorbed? We may not always have the answers. We may not always know what comes next, but we will always have the ability to listen. And perhaps in pausing and in doing so, we will find strength and calm to guide us on our journey. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will.
If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen to our God. Listen with all your heart and soul, and with all your might. Write them and learn them and teach them well, every morning and night, and close your eyes and listen. Quiet yourself, there's nothing to say. Stop all the chatter that gets in the way and listen to our God. When the rain and the thunder finally disappear, there's still a voice that you will hear if you listen to our God. You can hear it from the top of the highest hill or from the valley below. It can come from the edge of the universe. It can come from within your soul. So close your eyes and listen. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, to our God. Listen, listen to our God. Listen.
We allow ourselves also to take a moment for healing. Healing for all of us who are in need of it, for all the people who are on our minds. I invite you to write names into the chat of anyone who can use our healing prayers. And as I go around the room, I invite you to say aloud the names of anyone who is on your heart at this moment.
Pat Wade, Richard and Janice Sorority, Robin Gregson.
Melissa Polk, Rebecca Rothstein. And I see in the chat many names of other people who are on our hearts. As we hold all of them, let us offer this prayer of healing in hopes that this year they will be a little bit more healthy, a little bit more whole.
מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose healing presence is with all of those in need. And we all say, Amen.
Amen.
Sometimes I lay under the moon, I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I'm here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day. Oh, one day, one day, one day. V'ne'ema ve'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Vayom ahavu, vayom ahavu, yeh Adonai echad. U'shemo, u'shemo, u'shemo echad. One day, one day, one day. Oh, one day, one day, one day.
When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me and the people that I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We are mourning the recent loss of Sanford Stern, Mike Leo Smith, and Joyce Fishman Klein. We're also observing the yard sites of Barbara Amsbury, Samuel David Balsam, Rose Bidden, Evelyn Beyer, Donald Church, Ann Cohn, Louis Cuppersmith, Albert Davidson, Sam Loris Davis, Clara DeLucia, B. Diamond, Dennis Richard Engdahl, Herbert Engelberg, Melvin Eve, Max Fleischman, David Gersheni, Catalina Gonzalez, Alicia Hassapis, Ephraim Hafnung, David Joseph, Clara McKeeve Kaplan, Carmen Kelly, Estelle Klotz, Arthur Kofsky, Nathan Korn, Robert Crone, Harry Lenzer, Joseph Lieb, Catherine Loeffler, Al Manuel, Nathan Marcus, Peter Joseph Pascus, Gert Perlstein, Mary Pendrick, Leon Pariah, Nancy Proud, Louis Prupus, Joseph Reese, Oscar Roja, Jane Schloss, Ray Scott, Harry A. Sherman, Sophie Stein, George Schwartzman, Evelyn Tobias, Betty Waterman, Alvin Seymour Weinstein, Arthur Wayne, Pauline Wilkowski, Hyman Yevsky, and George Zimmerman. Let us say the words of the mourner's Kaddish together for each of these people who we are remembering this evening. I invite everyone to rise if you would like to do so. Page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divrach erotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayachon v'yomechon, uv'chayei d'kol beit Yisrael, b'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudisha b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiram v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Vimru. Amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be a blessing.
Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam.
I want to thank you so much for being here. You can be seated for just a second. I want to thank Greg Huey for being an amazing in-person greeter. Thank you so much for doing this for us tonight. First time, we're very grateful to you. We're also grateful to Jessica Feldman, who served as our Zoom greeter this evening, to Linda, who took part in services, and Rabbi Catherine, and Cantor reading Torah so beautifully, and of course to Bob Remstein. We're so, so excited to have you back here with us and throughout the High Holy Days. Thank you all so much. Just a couple of quick things that are coming up is that tomorrow we have our Slichot service. Everything will be beginning at 7 p.m. tomorrow. It's going to start, it's all on Zoom, and it's going to start with a text study around actually a short video to do with forgiveness. It's really, really powerful, and some discussion we'll have through that into a service right here, or from here, I should say, where we take those beautiful, colorful Torah scrolls and we transform them into the white of the High Holy Day season. And of course, Rosh Hashanah is coming up pretty quickly, so I invite you to get your reservations in if you haven't already. It'll be coming up on September 6th and 7th, and Yom Kippur short to follow. We have so many other wonderful things going on. I invite you to look at all of our emails in order to look at them. And thank you to everyone who is here in person, everyone who is online. For those of you who are on Zoom, I invite you to hang around. I will unmute people so that you can greet one another and send you to breakout rooms, grab some food, come together, socialize, and enjoy. Thank you all so much.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Oh! Whoops. Whoops. Sorry about that, Bob. Excitement.